Yeah, what's up? What's up, everybody? We are back. April 5th. I think it's 11. Not I think I know it's 11:35, and your boys are back. It's been a minute, but you know the drill. Life is reality.
That's
There's
right.
been especially lately. Busky knows there's been life comes into this planet and it leaves this planet sometimes as quick as it enters. But shout out to everybody who's been hitting me up asking for the episodes. I'm glad you people are waiting for it. Well, here we go. We have a lot of stuff coming up. There's actually a lot of stuff coming up, like starting tomorrow. So we're going to make sure this goes up. Shout out to everybody who's been following the Smoke AD movement. It's about to turn up. We have a lot of stuff going on. We'll get into that later. But happy Easter to everybody who celebrated Easter. Happy Passover to everybody that and whatever other religion thing you had. All I know is that I made the best brisket of my life.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Down. I'm officially the brisket king. Anybody out there want to challenge me? The way it works, you bring the brisket because that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
You want to challenge me? You come with a brisket, then we go head to head.
And you do the favor of making it nice.
Absolutely. And if you beat me, I'll give you the rights of saying that you beat me. But it's gonna be hard because I got good.
That's a
challenge. I gotta say, but
it looked good. And you really take the word smoke all day to the next level, you know.
And then Cypress Hill, you think they just smoke weed on the records? No, all day.
Smoking
we do it on the grill in our lungs. But no, but shout out to everybody during the holidays. I had a great holiday. I definitely ate the best I've eaten in so long. And what's up? Did you do anything? Did you do anything for Easter?
No, not really. Just local kid stuff. My youngest found out the Easter Bunny's not real. So yeah, it's all good.
And how was it? How did she take it?
She knew ahead of time, so she became the Easter Bunny this year. She sort of made herself the Easter Bunny.
Oh, that's dope. All right.
So it was good. She got, a basket for me, and then I had to go to the store and get a basket for mommy, and it was good. It was fun. So
that's dope. Ain't it funny when I've been lucky that my kids kind of found out like Santa and all that shit was bullshit on their own. And I'm kind of glad because I was worried about that. Like, like be the spoiler. I had a brother and sister, so they spoiled everything for me. I already knew all the tricks to cut the little paper to look what it was. My sister, she was the queen. Yeah, she would take the tape off and open that shit and close it back.
Perfectly.
Fucking MacGyver. Rest in peace to my sister, man.
Hell yeah.
But a lot of shit going on. Especially this is going on tomorrow, and it's funny. I want to shout them out because I was just blasting them at the gym. We got Mind Force and Gridiron. Shout out to Mind Force and the crew. Yeah. But I was blasting that in the gym. But they're playing tomorrow. Gator, we need this episode up today. Tomorrow, Saturday, April 6th, Mind Force, Gridiron, Out of Pocket, Hold My Own. How you say that? Gigan?
Gigan.
Yeah. Gigan. I wonder what that means. We got to get to the bottom of that. And Disguised. The Salty Beach Bar, Lake Como, New Jersey. I want the 411 on this spot because it looks like a cool place. Yep. And shout out to them because they've been throwing a lot of shows and it looks like actually a nice looking venue. Yep. And again, like we were talking about earlier, it's good that in our more much elder years, to be able to play some venues where they're accommodating and we don't got to worry about like rats running over our feet or stepping in human shit or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It goes a little bit, goes a long ways.
Yeah. And, but have you ever been to this club yet?
I haven't, but like you, I keep seeing the name pop up, and I just saw footage from that Fury of 5 show that was just there. Yeah, it looks like a really dope spot, so I look forward to checking it out.
Yeah, and shout out, we don't even have it, but shout out to also the Demise. They just dropped a 2-song EP, and they were on that bill too. So, and go check them out. They just dropped I think they played a live set on a podcast. I saw them promoting it. So check out the Demise page and go follow them. They dropped the EP and they got a whole bunch of stuff coming out too. But right here, we got Disguise. It says Jersey Shore style, which I love because that's a sound that kind of gets forgotten about with the New York hardcore tri-state sound, that New Jersey Shore sound. Shout out to Russ. I think Underdog fell under that kind of umbrella. You know what I mean? It was the skater thing. At least this is the way I always looked at that kind of, you know, our connection to the skateboard, surf, and the hardcore shit. The underdogs, the beach was down there. You know what I mean? It made sense. So pretty bugged out.
Blind Justice, Heavy Chains later on. You know, I think there's just a new generation of guys keeping that alive, which is dope. The Shore has always had that Floor Punch. You know, a bunch of guys down there definitely wear that Jersey Shore on their sleeves. So,
and again, Hudson Valley. So you already know they're gonna be heavy as fuck. I haven't even heard them, but you know, that whole area and everybody got. What I love is you got Out of Pocket days, Out of Pocket, the Bay Area style that we're getting back to the variety and the styles. Like the younger generation is having fun tapping into the older styles. I could tell, like they're starting to really appreciate it. That's why you got the Fugitives. You got, you know, it goes from Fugitive to a Knock Loose to a Scowl to a Drain to a fucking, you know, a lot of flavors going on.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like we were just talking before, how for us, you know, we're older guys in you know, the music scene now, and I think that the influence that these younger bands in the 2020s going into, you know, like the 2030s, which is a crazy thing to say, you know, they've got 40 years of influence they can go back on, where for us, you know, we were 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s kids. We had 10 years, you know, or 5 to 10 years of influence, you know. So our windows of what we were taking from and building with was definitely a little bit smaller, you know. And that's what's cool about this, is like these guys are going back to, you know, the 2000s, the 2010s on some of these influences. And that's what's cool, to think that Trapped Under Ice is now, you know, considered an influence for some of these guys. You know, when all TUI was doing was listening to Biohazard and Madball.
Crazy. It's crazy to see everybody, and it also goes to show you, and you get to see the bands that constantly work throughout the years. They're starting to get their flowers, because if you bust your ass, you should, and anything you do, you will get better. You will get finesse, and you will get noticed. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why this flyer is perfect, that it says Trench Lords, because these guys are the ones in the trenches, you know? There's a reason why every episode we're mentioning Mind Force, because they're just out there. They're putting in the work.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you can't avoid it. Same thing with Gridiron, you know, and same thing with all these other younger bands, Out of Pocket, you know, like everyone's getting out there, and that's what it is, you know?
Nobody's getting nothing given. You know, I had a beef with some of these old school guys saying, you know, they talk about the pandemic being... Definitely, it helped a lot of springboard a lot of new bands, but that shit's already been over. And if you were whack, it's already would have got, you know, the fantasy would have been over. All these bands are thriving because you can tell they've been putting work in. Their craft, they've been, you know, backing their music up by getting on tours and getting out there on the road. And, you know, that's how you get your people.
That pandemic shit was years ago now. You know what I mean? Right.
Like, I'm going to give a little personal 1-2 cents in this whole thing. If you're still talking about that shit, you corny. All right. So what do we got next? We got some of my favorites.
Yes.
Right here. So I think this is probably one of the heaviest flyers, just because the name is on it. But we got Rocks Off Cruise Series. First of all, if you're gonna be on a boat with Crowbar,
love it.
Like it's so crazy that it's such a dangerous thought but such a must. Like, I wish I was there for this, because I always wanted to do the boat show, and for some reason Crowbar sounds like it should be pirate music, even though they're not a monomorph. Like, you know what I mean? Crowbar is like that. We're in the gull of a fucking old ship, and there's smoke, and there's people with one eye and wooden legs and all types of shit. Girls getting, dope. But I mean, really cool shit. I love the idea of shows on boats. You got to see more than I have, but I'm a fan of it from a distance.
It's awesome for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And I just noticed it says presents the Crow Boat.
The Crow Boat, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And who we got? We got Morbid Visions.
Morbid Visions, yep. Maggot Stomp. I think they're Little Rock, Arkansas, you know, some southern death metal-ish, slow, sludgy-ish. All that Maggot Stomp stuff is great.
Yeah. And that's dope. And this is freaking, and you know, listen, New York City, and you got Nola in the building. And not only that, listen, if this got it again, you guys gonna want to have some drinks. You guys are gonna want to have a lot of smoking. If you eat hummus, bring it by the pockets full, because there ain't gonna be no hummus there. Even though Kirk got abs now, I believe he's he's from New Orleans. He's eating like cornbread and chitlins or some shit. But
jambalaya, I hope
that's it. No, but they're such a great band that if you wanted to dance, you could dance, or if you wanted to sit back, smoke, and just drink and watch, it's like perfect. You know what I mean? Like, and on a boat, man, that's gonna be a good time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Those boat shows are great. I saw them a few years ago at St. Vitus, and man, they've always been one of my favorite bands since day one. But they're just one of those bands to me that just the older they get, the better and heavier. You know?
Yeah, it seems like I want them. I definitely think they are. I'll say it. They are the only band I'll give that I'll put them in the wine category.
Yeah,
they really. There's bands that put out good records about. No, these dudes get better, and look at them. They even physically get better as they get older. They get physically, and I just think I definitely love them more now than ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I always liked them, but something about just their place, their sound, and where they're at, and how they rock and how they I'm a big Crowbar head. That's for sure.
They're great. Kirk's amazing, and shout out to Down. Another band that he plays in. I believe they're writing new music too. So incredibly musician. Love Crowbar, always have.
Hell yeah! Shout out to the boys. Go check them out. Hopefully, we do some Smoke AD Crowbar shit, Kirk. You heard?
Yeah.
But we also got a little bit something special. My brother and now bandmate. Who would think? I never thought I would say this. It's almost scary to say it. But yeah, my bandmate. Now it ain't no project. Believe it, we a problem. But my brother, Danny Diablo Isaac, he's throwing a 420 party. At what's the name? At the Wood Shop. It's in Meadow Street, Brooklyn, 9 p.m. on 4/19. $5 to get in. Now check this out, you cheap bastards out there. $5. There's nothing in New York that's $5 anymore.
Yeah, right.
So that's number one. Number two, what better place to go than on a weekend to go listen to music? There's going to be a bunch of people performing. But more than that, why I want to say, I'll have you read it off, Busky, in a minute, but I want to say this. My boy, we worked hard on it. We are going to be, I won't be there. I was going to make it. I was going to try to make it, but I got caught up. He will be spinning the new Smoke AD EP. And on the 20th at midnight, the new single drops on 420. But catch it first. He'll be spinning the EP all night. We got some things in the work, everybody. I'm not going to say what yet, but Smoke AD is about to invade your city. So stay tuned. We ain't playing games, but we just want to make sure when we lay it out, we ready to party. But Busky, read this shit because there's a lot of letters there, and I only got a GD. So
El Diablo, you basically said it all. Yeah, 420 party happening the 19th, 9 o'clock. You got Piss Mob, you got Tony Slippers, you got Jason, the Sin God, Prime Prolific, Jerry X, and like you said, DJ or Isaac will be DJing. White Owl.
I just noticed that.
Yep.
And I was just gonna say, I just noticed. Listen, everybody, free ticket. You get the first drink. Free ticket with first drink. So you listen. What more you want? And there's a bud raffle all night. Smokers, drinkers, hummus eaters. We all a part of this party. Smoke AD, Casa de Rock, Smoking Word Podcast, The Hard Corner, Pitchfork, Culture, Static Era Records. Listen, this is family business. Go check it out. It's going to be a good time. Go have a drink. Even stop by and listen to the new single and let E knows that we killing shit this year. Yes. So, but go support it. 420 party on 4/19. Spinning that Smoke AD shit all night, everybody. So go check it out. It's gonna be dope though. And straight up, $5, you can't go wrong. Yeah. Somewhere where you could go break bread for $5. Starbucks charges you $6. You know what I mean?
This is true.
But
8, sometimes 8, depending on what you order.
If you order the fancy shit I do, you're paying like 7 some with that extra shot in the oat milk. But all right, that's another story.
That's where I'm at.
And then we got coming up some of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorite human beings and one of New York City's staples. First of all, and doing it for somebody who's very important to the New York hardcore scene. Listen, Saturday, April 27th, Go Bardello. My man Eugene. Shout out to Eugene. I don't think there's anybody in the scene that represents New York hardcore more than Go Bardello and Eugene. Shout out to the familia Go Bardello. Yeah. But Madball, Murphy's Law, The Captures, War Orphan, and more bands. Tompkins Square. Busky, what do you know about this? You might know a little bit more details than I do.
Cousin Joe, Freddie, the crew, everybody, Black and Blue every year does a park show, which is always very cool. Outdoors, New York City, really gives you a fresh vibe of what's happening. And every year there's a benefit to benefit somebody in need of the community because, we could all use it at some point in life. And unfortunately, this year, fortunately and unfortunately, Jesse Malin did have last year, he suffered from a very crazy, rare spinal stroke condition, which has left him, I think, partially paralyzed. So, he, like you said, he's been a huge, valuable, important part of the New York hardcore scene and just the music scene in general. He's collaborated with Bruce Springsteen and Lucinda Williams, and he's a legend without a doubt. So, once again, Black and Blue Productions came together this year to do a benefit for Jesse. Donations are happening now. This is a quote unquote free show. Money needs to go into it to make it happen and work, and stages and production and all that. So obviously donations are important, very important. So you can check out sweetrelief.org and donate there, or you can donate at the Black and Blue GoFundMe too. So
yeah, for sure. And definitely for everybody who you might have heard Jesse's name pop up a lot or whatever.
No.
Besides being just a staple and one of the OGs, this is a guy who never cared about being in front of the camera and in the public eye like that. But when there was no place to play, not only did he give a spot to play, he literally donated it for nothing. There was shows for free just to give people a spot to play and to get this whole thing going again. So a lot of people, especially in New York City, you may not even know it, but one of the main reasons that there's a good energy going around, there's guys like Drew that helped do it, but also Jesse putting up the place, coming from where we come from, knowing what it means. And again, now it's time to represent. Now it's time for all those people that enjoyed these shows and going free and the music from these bands and all that. It's a free show. Means you got money in your pocket to spare.
Yeah.
There you go. This is the cause. It's going to a real cause. This ain't nobody trying to pay their rent. You know what I mean? This is somebody who did a lot for the scene that sparked, a movement across the universe. He was a part of it and will always be a part of it. And again, it's the least we could do. Shout out to everybody who does the shows and just does all this stuff to represent them, because it's important. We can't forget about these people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially a guy like that who, he's not about getting his name out there like that. You know what I mean? He was never looking for that, the attention in that way, and I think he deserves it. So shout out to him for sure. But Go Bardello, Madball, Murphy's Law, The Captures, Wharf, and let me just say something. Murphy's Law gotta be. I've been bumping the first two records lately. God damn you, Jimmy. That's probably some of the greatest shit I've ever heard. Like, I go crazy hearing that first Murphy's Law record. Thank God for Murphy's Law in hardcore music, because without that, it would just be a bunch of meatheads with no girls.
Yeah. I want to shout out in that same conversation, Todd Youth,
Yes.
And it's like, to me, he was such a vital part to me of a different version of New York hardcore sound, whether it was through Warzone or Murphy's Law. I mean, he definitely was and even Fireburn.
Yeah.
Towards the end there, he just had an awesome flavor, man. So definitely shout out and rest in peace to him. And without a doubt, Jimmy, Murphy's Law, the whole thing.
Sure. And Todd and Jesse and these guys were the young energies then, and these are the guys. These are some of the band-aids holding this shit together. Yeah. And then again, these are the invisible band-aids. You don't know they're doing it. They're not trying to be seen, and they do it because this is what they are, and it's dope. And Frankie, shout out to Frankie too, for he'll be DJing. He probably got the most eclectic record collection. There's some that we can't talk about, and there's some that we can. But I know which ones we can, and I got them too. Shout out to the Frankie and all those records.
Too far, love them.
Yeah, but we got some other shit going on over here in New York. What's cracking next, Busky?
Here's some cool, good shit.
Oh yeah,
the first annual New York City tattoo convention, July 26th, 27th, and 28th. Going on at Terminal 5. Very, very cool thing. I know Civ has a hand in this. I believe Joey has a hand in it too. So you know that it's official. You know that it's going to be very cool. There is also, what do we got? Live music, food trucks, tattoo competitions, a car show, and skateboarding event. And this is all going down, over the course of 3 days.
I don't think this is the first. They were always having it. Maybe the first at Terminal 5, right? Because you remember they used to have them at Roseland.
Yeah. I was definitely confused about the first annual. So
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. But definitely the first time at Terminal 5, and that's a cool spot.
Yeah.
It's a big spot, so it could be bugged out to there. But
yeah.
A lot of things going on, a lot of tattoo people going there, and it looks like a good time too. New York City's like a lot. We got who's gonna be there? Let's see some of the tattoo artists: Todd Noble, Steve Byrne, Chat, Coplinger, Grimy. Who else? A whole bunch of people. July 26th, 27th, 28th, New York City. Those are usually cool, even just to walk around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
And go. We used to do that all the time.
Absolutely. There's also the shows going on. This was just announced too. Very cool. And the Rooftop at Terminal 5. Every night there's going to be a show. So this one, July 26th, was just announced with Calling Hours. I believe that's Popeye from the band Farside. Anybody that, knows Farside, I'm sure would like to know that. Cool band from Buffalo called Spaced that just got signed to Revelation. Raw Brigade, who we know, Orange 9, very cool to see, and Into Another.
Yeah.
Just a very awesome, perfect actually show.
Exactly. This is a crazy. We're Orange 9 and Into Another. Shout out to Chaka for they're doing the thing back, and Chris on drums, and shout out to them, Orange 9. And Into Another, one of my favorite bands, man. I wish I could see this. Shout out to Richie. I wonder if he's gonna do the Shire music, the Shire track. He knows what I'm talking about. But what do you know about this Rooftop thing?
I don't know anything, to be honest with you. Last time I was there, I saw Suicidal there years and years and years ago. I don't know, and I haven't been to Terminal 5 in a while, to be honest. And I don't know if they just haven't been doing shows or it's totally off my radar. Yeah. But I definitely haven't been there in a minute, and I know absolutely nothing about a Rooftop. So I'm interested. I'm on board. I'm in. I think a day of tattooing, skateboarding, music, food trucks, all that sounds pretty good. And this is just one day. The second day, there is a Rooftop new wave dance party, for all of the non-hardcore fans.
I really hope this Rooftop is on the Rooftop open air, because then it'd be amazing.
I hope so. And I'm pretty sure that it is. I mean, Rooftop sounds like Rooftop. And then we've got this amazing show on the last day, July 28th, with Integrity, Earth Crisis, Dead Guy, Scarab, and All for All from Syracuse. Yeah. So
shout out to Earth Crisis. Good to see them. And this is I'm glad that it's good to see them on a bill in New York like this, like a mixed bill, and at a cool spot, and with a bigger look. You know what I mean? With a look where we could gather a lot of different people. Because Earth Crisis is one of those bands. They have a sound that crosses over that you could. They're definitely perfect for a tattoo show. Just definitely. Being crossover, and then having that whole thing. So it's cool to see them again on a kind of a mixed bill, and in the mixed bag. They got a good mixed bag on.
Yeah. It's good to see, like we just talked about, even, in the last talk, how the 90s is old and retro and vintage at this point, and you look at this flyer and you see those names, Dead Guy, Earth Crisis, Integrity. It's like, man, that seriously looks like a show I would have seen back in the 90s, and it's
for sure.
Those two opening bands are new, young, but All for All is a Syracuse band. So it's cool to see them paired with Earth Crisis, in New York City with Integrity, who you probably would have never expected to see years ago. And the whole thing is just cool to see how, this whole shit just keeps evolving and evolving. And then to see Orange 9mm, a couple of days before with Into Another and Calling Hours. It's amazing and it's cool to see. And I think we're very spoiled in a way that we've come this far that we can now put together these bills, and we have people like Civ and B&B that are able to do these things. So shout out to those guys. This is going to be a super cool weekend. Is there tickets? Yeah, nyctatcon.com. Check out the website. I would definitely get some tickets.
They're good weekends to be in the city, and a lot of times these guys are hanging out in the city the whole weekend too. So usually this weekend means if you're hanging out at the bars, if you drink or not, it's a good hangout throughout the days. There's people beating up,
grab a tat. Grab a tat, hit the pit.
Yeah, you go get go to Vlad. You say Hoya Rock sent you. You get a veggie burger. And then you go up there, get tattooed, get a Hoya Rock tattoo on your neck. Smoke AD tattoo on your face, and then you go, get arrested, and like homeboy, what's this guy's name from Texas? He got arrested. Poor homeboy got fucking arrested in New York one time.
Who did?
Red. I'm drawing a blank now. I'll pop them in my head.
All right,
but but no, a lot of cool shit and cool venues where they're like these kind of little fest things. They're connected to shows, the tattoo things. A lot of good events going on, and the same thing that's happening in New England. Actually, this one I wish I and you never know. Worcester, Mass.
Yeah,
this is a banger over here. Like I don't even know where to start. September 21st and the 22nd. Saturday and a Sunday. The whole thing is outdoors. I just noticed.
Whole thing.
Oh, dope. And there's so many bands on the bottom that we won't even go from there. But we'll just go from the main tier bands that are bigger. I don't know what that first bottom band is. What is that? Dope Layout. What with a B? What's that say?
Brand of Sacrifice.
That brand. Damn, you could see that, man. Shout out to your fucking glasses, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. We got what's that?
Shadow of Intent.
Dude, dope letters, man. I gotta say. Integrity, the Red Corner Throwdown. Now, that's just the first tier of the, let's say, of the early spot is the prelims. And the prelims are banging. You got 200 Stab Wounds, Brad. Shout out to Brad. Death Before Dishonor. That's all before.
Yeah.
Now, when the main card comes up, you got the bands we just named: Integrity, Red Cord, Throwdown, Incendiary. I always had a problem saying their name, but they always been killing it.
Always.
Shout out to them, Strong Island. And what else we got? Full of Hell.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yep.
And Suicide Silence. They've been doing their thing too lately, playing a lot. Shout out to Garza Podcast. It's a dope podcast I be listening to.
Yep.
Better Lovers, After the Burial, Overkill, New York OGs. We got Nails. That's cool that they're doing some shit. I'm actually supposed to get Homeboy on the podcast too. So
good. What up, TJ?
Yeah, and As I Lay Dying, shout out to them. They've been doing their thing. We got Bane. I guess they're back.
Bane.
Yeah, Bane. Shout out to Bane, Converge. We got my boys, my fam, Suicidal Tendencies. Shout out to Mikey and Dean and all the boys.
Yeah.
We got Machine Head, man. Machine Head, man.
Machine Head.
I love Machine Head. And I got to say, probably one of my new favorite bands, Slaughter to Prevail. We covered them a long time ago on the show.
Yeah.
And I've been following them since.
Yep.
Probably one of the heaviest, hardest bands. And these Russian motherfuckers somehow got that Motown blood in them because they got flavor and some type of pocket that it's crazy to know where they got it from. But they got flavor, and it's crazy. Homeboy wrestles bears.
Yeah.
But
it's in the vodka.
But the definitely dope, heavy, and just groove that I love, and something about it. I love the way they lay it out, the whole shit, man. So shout out to them. And then you got Kill Switch Engage. 25th anniversary. Go figure. How crazy that this band got this big, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, and I think it's all.
But I'm saying like it's crazy.
Yeah.
The plateau they reached, because I think they really crossed over. Like
they really
made,
did
a lot of records and sold and that type of shit. And
absolutely. And I think a lot of it is due in part to this event, the New England Metal Fest. It wasn't metal and hardcore fest back, 20-25 years ago.
Yeah.
It was just the New England Metal Fest. And it was like a lot of things, that we talk about. Oh, there's our earthquake warning.
Oh shit, another one?
I don't know. But I think a lot of that is this festival, and this was a huge local thing, in the Boston, Worcester area, East Coast in general. Milwaukee Metal Fest was in the Midwest, and this thing was popping off over here, and it lent a lot of annual, massive shows for bands like Killswitch Engage or Blood Has Been Shed or Shadows Fall. Or even Hatebreed, because you knew that every year you were going to play this thing, and you got a couple thousand, 2,000 to 5,000. I don't even know, but it was packed every fucking year for this thing, and it's very cool again to see this coming around and celebrating, old and new bands, hardcore bands and metal bands. All those hardcore bands were always on it, even though it was considered a metal fest. So it's cool to see that it's, it can be merged, and it is a metal hardcore fest. And to your point, I think Killswitch also put that word on the map, metalcore. We know metalcore as different, maybe Marauder, All Out War, stuff like that, earlier stuff, Leeway, even you could consider metal hardcore in a way. But the terminology definitely came to be with bands like Killswitch and Shadows Fall and this thing. So
and they
shout
always
out to those
did,
dudes, man.
And they just did a good thing, always booking this fest. This fest was always a banger, and hopefully Smoke AD will be invading there next year. We're gonna be on them. They know it or not yet, but they will. Shout out to the Milwaukee. Oh, shout out to the Milwaukee Metal Fest too, but shout out to the New England Metal Hardcore Fest. Worcester, Mass. Go check them out. And on the subject, shout out to the Milwaukee Metal Fest. Smoke AD, Smoking Word Podcast. Me, E will be in the building. We'll be selling some Smoke AD merch and recording them for the podcast. We're going to be running around, so everybody come see us. We're going to be in the building, making some noise, having fun. So what else we got? We got, what's this about? You were telling me about this before, the Loyal to the Grave. We got
Loyal to the Grave. Yeah, I just want to shout out my man Koba from Tokyo, Japan. I'm sure you've come across them. I'm sure you met these guys. They've been around for a long time, definitely put in their work. And I just love, we talk about a lot of American hardcore stuff, but this shit is definitely global. And these guys have been putting in the work for, 20, 30 years at this point. So Loyal to the Grave, they just got signed to Triple B. Very cool to see. Congratulations. And they got a new single that actually came out today called Striving Higher on Spotify and all that. So just check it out. And what else? We got a little track we can play actually right here.
Play that shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Japan. Hop on.
Did that just go AWOL?
Did it just cut out, Gator?
I don't know. Something happened. It seemed like.
Hey, not bad. Yeah, that's probably the first technical difficulty we've ever had on the show, right?
I know.
Everybody, we popped our cherry right now. Yeah. As far as, but yo, shout out to them. It's pretty hard. And again, Japan. Yes. They always represent it, and I'm hoping to get there soon, man. It's been a while. I really miss it. Shout out to Makoto, Sand, and all the Bounty Hunter, and yo, Big Yo over there. Yo, I got some shit going over there. My man MQ, my brother MQ will be invading the land of the rising sun. My second home. I missed that spot, but Loyal to the Grave. Go represent. Again, worldwide, it doesn't matter where they're from. If the shit is good, go get it.
That's right.
Make sure. Represent. And Japan always had a scene, like always. A good scene that maintained through the years and always and always had style, which I always loved. You know, they
Always.
even their punk had style. You know what I mean?
Everything, yeah. And the DeBeat, the crusty stuff, a lot of that stuff, you know, it all comes. A lot of great stuff comes out of Japan.
Yeah.
And got to shout out Nerds Record Store as well. Awesome, dope record store, you know, over there. So love you guys over there. Check that shit out.
And we got this over here, which I don't know about, but it's pretty crazy. Funeral Leech,
yes. New York City, death, doom metal.
Even better. They're from New York. I want to know what's up with these motherfuckers. Anything that's not look. Shout out to all my hardcore kids. You already know the deal. This is bleed. We bleed that. But when you got New York City needs that metal. Black Anvil needs that army. You know what I mean? So we got Black Anvil, and now we got who else representing for New York City? Death Doom Metal. God damn it.
That's right.
Holy shit.
That's right. The drummer, Lucas, he's a drummer, singer. He played drums actually in a band that I did called Manipulate a few years ago.
All right.
So it's very cool to see him. You know, he started this after Manipulate. And that's now been, 9 years or something. Yeah. But it's very cool to see this come to fruition. This is their new full length. I think the shortest length song is like 8 minutes.
Crazy.
So they're one of those bands, where if you got to spend 10 minutes to get through one song.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's not one of those long, droney, going nowhere, sort of bands or songs. Like the songs all hold up even though they're very long. You don't get bored listening to them. So definitely give this a spin if you're into long songs and death metal or doom metal. It's cool
and I want to they go support them. They just dropped some vinyl too and everything. But I want to shout out the whole stoner deathcore whatever New York City scene, because this is not new. This is a scene that's been around, but back in the day, we had Winter. Winter became guys from Brutal Truth. And these were guys that played, the Lower East Side doomcore bands. Like Ezek knows, these guys come out of the scene and they were metal guys playing the most extreme shit. But the scene was too extreme for the time. And at that time, that happened and the industrial thing started taking over. Bands like Godflesh, whatever, and then it became that. But New York always had that, and it lived with the hardcore scene. Sure. Like not in the same time frames, but the same venues, Avenue A, the same. Sure. We when the hardcore show would let out, they would be packing, they would be loading in. You know what I mean? So it's dope that when New York City, when I see. Look at the New York hardcore phenomenon. It's like we know that for many years. When you start hearing metal band out of New York, it seems fresh. Yeah, and a little bit less abused and less used up. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something fresh about it. Like New York City and metal, you always get New York hardcore. It's kind of one word.
Yeah, sure.
And I get excited. I gotta say that because it brings me back to, again, when music was in extreme. The death metal lived with the hardcore and the punk and the crust, and it all lived with just scumbags. You know what I mean? We were all scumbags then. Yeah. So it's cool.
That's perfect to say extreme, because that's essentially what this all technically used to be filed under. Before everything got so subdivided. With death doom, death death metal. It was all just extreme music, whether it was Agnostic Front or Funeral Leech.
Yeah.
You would find that in the extreme music bin at a record store.
Exactly. So
that's what it is, really. Yeah.
So it's like, and they got cool vinyl, and shout out to them. And speaking of vinyl, shout out to everybody. If you haven't been tapping in, go to YouTube right now and tap into the new Smoke AD video. The codes we chose, codes we live by. I forget the name even right now, but it's our new lyric video is up right now. Again, mad love to everybody who's been hitting it, and shout out to everybody who's been adding our song on Spotify to the playlist and all that. It really means a lot. We have a new video. We were literally been working on it yesterday. It comes out on 4/20. This track is going to be the breakup track of the century. So anybody who had to lose or cut something off, this is going to be the track for you. And listen, We got special vinyl. Casa de Rock, Blackout Records. We're rocking that. Right now we got gold, we got green, and we got rust. Cortex Records in Europe. Everybody in Europe, go to Cortex and get that pre-order. The quicker you get that pre-order, it lets everybody knows you want Smoke AD in Europe. So if you want Smoke AD, let's get those vinyls sold. Everybody else, let's collect all the colors, limited edition. Blackoutrecords.com. Shout out to Bill. That's a label that supports from the ground up. Blackout Records, go to them. Shout out to Blackout. They're one of the main reasons we're even doing a vinyl for this. So go get the vinyls and collect them all because we're not doing no more after this. So, and let me tell you, hands down, not because it's my newest material, but I honestly could say the hardest and the realest music I've ever written, not by a little, but by a lot. Shout out to everybody who played on it. Shout out to Demi who jumped on the track and Rick Ross who jumped on the other tracks. Shout out to Sean for killing that right hand. And my brother E. You guys are gonna hear him like you never heard him. I'm just super proud of my fam because the damage and magic you could do when you got a special force family. All right. And I'm proud of it. CasaDeRock.com, BlackoutRecords.com, Static Era Records, Cortex Records. It's family business, Smoke AD. And listen, I'm going to say this right now. We got a little something special in the works. You want to see your boy hit that stage again? We're going to be invading a city near you. I'm going to leave it at that. So,
oh, shit.
CasaDeRock.com. Follow the movement. You know, the daily.
Yeah.
What else we got? I'm
Hats
excited.
off to
Busky,
you guys.
Thank you, Busky. I'm really excited, and you got to hear some of the other stuff going on, and I'm amped to play live.
Yeah.
And when I'm amped to get live play live, that means everybody better hold their scalps because I'm coming for them.
I know. I've been enjoying watching the posts on Instagram. Where do you want to see us? And I tune in, I look, I see where people, and it's great. It's worldwide. It's gonna pop off. It's gonna be great. And
and again, it's like I haven't had this much fun in years. I could straight up. It's like exciting for me in every way. Shout out to I can't say it enough. People who've been following me along the journey, and that I'll be honest, there's also a lot of people that stopped fucking with me since I'm not longer with the band. But shout out to everybody who stuck with me because we're about to turn the fuck up. Yeah, that's the link right there. Add us because we a problem and we're here to stay. Everybody, right now I'm working on an album. We have albums, videos, tours. Listen, get used to the faces, the facha brutes, because you guys are stuck with us. But we're coming with flavor, and I want to see everybody. If we come to a city near you, it's time to represent. Make sure you show up, spread the word, and buy that goddamn merch. Goddamn it. Everything is done in-house by your boys and made with love. So, with that being said, where we at? What we got? We got some new shit. Let's shout out we always got to give love to the new bands and people just dropping new music because there's a lot of people living off old merits.
Yeah, so man. Every Friday, new shit comes out every Friday. So there's something new to talk about every week. This came out recently. You can't tell from the cover, but it's a band called Deal with God from Syracuse, young new generation. Definitely helping put Syracuse back on the map. This is their EP, I guess.
What's it sonically like? I like it already.
Yeah, it's chunky, it's chuggy. It's got a lot of that sort of 90s, feel to it, but it's got integrity to it. It's got Marauder, it's got metal influence as well. But also some of that younger stuff, Division of Mind. You think of some of those Richmond bands, Killing Pace, some of those newer Richmond bands. It's got that flavor too to it. So it's definitely a cool throwback. It's heavy, it's modern, but you know, it's pretty on par for Syracuse and stuff. And
I even like the layout. Got that classic, kind of a throwback
man.
style layout. Even that, it looks like a vinyl. This is, that's the back of an album right there. Like,
yep, they doing it right. Logo's dope. Everything that they put out has been, pretty awesome. And they rep 315, which is very cool to see. They've done their homework on at least the local regional stuff.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It comes out at the end, and it's nice when that happens, at the end of the day, because growing up there, obviously I put in a lot of work and I did my time locally up there, and these guys respect that. They understand that, and they're carrying on sort of the tradition of, that we were carrying on in the 90s, that the guys in the 80s did and whatever. So this is just the new shit from up in Syracuse. I love it. They're popping off. They've got 3 guitar players. It's heavy, and you should check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna check.
They got a record release show coming up.
That's what I was just about to say. So this is a show to that, because I wasn't sure. Because first of all, the flyers bugged the fuck out. Yep. I was trying to figure out if it was a show flyer. It looked so industrial, like, or they were promoting something like, this record company's doing this band is kind of a bugged out flyer.
Yeah. And that's what's cool is I feel like these guys are definitely, they're a new generation. They've got their own vision on this shit, but they understand and they respect, the old and whatever. So very cool to see this show popping off. Silver Street Event Center, which is kind of the new local DIY spot up there. Belmora's playing. Cold Kiss from Albany. Pleasure Dome, Means of Survival. Godskin.
I like Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Feels
Godskin
good.
Peeler. Very cool band from the Hudson Valley area. Who Decides and Street Hassle, also cool local Syracuse band. So yeah, check that out. April 21st. Doors at 4, bands at 5.
Let me ask you, have you ever been to this venue, this new spot up there?
I have, yeah. Actually, The Promise played there this past New Year's. We did that one show up there for the anniversary of our record. So we played this place. But I've seen I saw Killing Time there. I saw Crown of Thorns there, so it's a cool spot for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Syracuse, man. Giving a place, near Canada that ain't Canada.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And also, again, that's part of what the bag of the hardcore bag, the Syracuse scene, the Boston scene. It goes with if we were basketball teams, you know what I mean? Yeah. They had a team, DC had a team, LA had a team, Chicago had a team, Ohio had a team, Jersey. So, but Syracuse, the deal. They, upstate always had his own flavor. And it's, again, an agnostic front, charted these territories back in the day, making their way to Canada. So
absolutely,
that's why there's so much history from Montreal all the way down, like old history, and with East Coast and New York specifically hardcore, because these were the bands traveling. Like, I can't speak for the DC dudes, but I know agnostic front. Everybody in New York was going to Canada, Montreal back in the day. So
Detroit even too. On your way to Detroit, you had to go. You had to travel literally across New York, and that's how this all happened. Shout out to Dave Stein, rest in peace. He was the first stop out of New York, was straight up the throughway to Albany. Boom, and he was booking.
Yeah, shout out to all that. Hell yeah, that's the people don't understand these. If this was the Wild West, it would be like what Kansas City was for the steer. You had to go from Texas to Kansas. That's the next pit stop where there was like-minded people doing what you do. So the same thing, like this made these scenes. Like, they were originally guys meeting their friends, going to that town and knowing friends, and those friends became scenes. You know what I mean? Which became fucking music cities.
Yeah.
It starts off with like, oh, I'm bringing my boy from Rochester. Oh, where's Rochester? It's near Syracuse. Then Rochester becomes Rochester.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And boom, they go into Canada, same thing. Who would ever think? Regina in Canada. Some of you guys haven't even heard of it. Well, they've been having hardcore shows forever. Why? Because people from Detroit traveling and vice versa, bringing the music to these cities that had music years ago. Yeah. So shout out to them, and shout out to, the northern part border towns and cities of our state.
Yeah.
Because that's important with also bringing the sound music across the border.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's amazing how it still happens too. You know, every generation, you know, you have these dead spots where, you know, like I don't know, Florida didn't have much going on for a while. Years ago, obviously you had Shai-Hulud and Newfound Glory and all these things. And then, you know, it dies down and then it goes over to Baltimore, then it goes over to a different city. But it's amazing how you can see how this happens every generation of just this influence of people traveling. And you know, Florida's now popping. There's so many amazing bands down in Florida. And all it takes is, even we were talking about this before, is one spark, one little thing, and then somebody else does it, and then it just, you know, boom. It's a ripple
and we
effect.
Gotta everybody else, we gotta feed those seeds by supporting them and not talking shit on them, especially the people that don't show up to none and got the biggest mouths. So but what else we got? We got some more new jacks out there doing their thing.
Terminator, look at that. I saw this and I was like, this has to be good, and it better be good, because it's so basic and simple, and it's such a like 80s almost throwback that I was like, man, if this doesn't rip, I'm gonna be really disappointed. And I put it on and it fucking rips, man. It's really good. It's like fast in that sort of no warning, think I care, just raw, just amazing hardcore music, you know.
Good Rebirth Records. And I was gonna say, speaking of no warning, I think they just dropped a video also, so shout out to them. I think they dropped a video or single, something I saw not too long ago, unless I'm a little outdated, but I saw something recently.
Yeah, shout out to No Warning, definitely.
But where are these guys from? Terminator again, you said?
Man, I'm not sure even. You know, I saw this and I jumped in. I hit play and I loved it, and I'm like, we got to talk about it. It's that good. I haven't even.
Really good. I gotta see where could they get it at? Is that on Bandcamp or Spotify?
Spotify definitely, probably on Bandcamp. I know Rebirth Records is sort of a new label popping off.
Yep, they've been doing their thing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's got some cool stuff. So if you just Google Rebirth, I think if you end up on their Bandcamp page, it's got like a discography of all the bands they've been doing, and there's some really good shit. So
I'm gonna go check that out. I gotta say, I'll be honest, I haven't heard nothing new. I've been dealing with a lot of crazy shit lately. But this is giving me a lot of good stuff that I wanted to start. You know,
I love it, man. I love the Bandcamp. You know, where you just follow. You click the follow button, like we always say. Same thing with this channel. You know, hit the follow button. Any sort of news, anything comes up on this, you know, a feed, and that's just kind of essentially how I just, you know, anybody learns about this stuff is you follow these bands, and it's great, you know.
Good shit, no, for sure. And then we got we also got how would you say it? Secrecy. Look at that. GD came into freaking play for something right there.
You got Metal Eyes.
It's like a split with Baron, Swedish grindcore DeBeat. Now
DeBeat.
The DB, I think we talked about it a while ago, and I need a little refreshment. What's that? Did it stand for downbeat, or what was the D for?
Kind of, it's like that discharge beat, you know, where it's it's not your traditional fast hardcore beat. It's got its own sort of bass drum and snare and hi-hat rhythm, you know, so it's like that. I don't even know how to mouth it, but it's
hardcore rhythm and do that, right?
It's a different stutter to the bass drum and snare. You know what I mean? It's not like a do-cat. It does more like a choppier beat. So that's like the D beat, you know, and that's basically what Discharge sort of made famous. And a lot of these grindcore bands sort of take that beat, and it's more like a chop beat, you know, just a back and forth. And it's, you know, big in the grindcore, you know, fast, extreme hardcore.
Yeah, no, because for sure I heard people like, oh, you're grind metalcore or you're DB. And I was like, no, I'm the best. No, I'm that Nick. No, but yeah, so it bugged me out. And like, hey, shout out to whatever, you know, there's a name for everything. You know, it became hardcore, New York hardcore, whatever. Okay. But it bugged me out. I just took it as being the more technical metal, but I guess it's more.
All right. You know, like probably for New York standard, Nausea would be like a D-beat style band. You know what I mean? Think about that. You know, like a lot of those maybe ABC No Rio style, where it's a little bit crusty punk.
Crusty,
you know?
crusty. What's that band? And we played with them. They're OGs. They're from England. Their dread band, Void, or maybe something like that. One of these bands, the OG in that crust, like a Nausea's, the OGs from England.
Yeah, like Amoebix was one of them.
I think it's that one of them. We played with them, but I heard they were like the guy had dreads, but they were OGs in this noise, crazy punk shit.
So it's just another one of those sub genres, you know, that that's out there. But this band Secrecy is really dope. It's kind of, to me, sounds like a later era Napalm Death when it wasn't so, you know, grindy. It's got a little bit more rhythm to it. It's got breakdowns. It's got mosh parts and, you know, crunches to it. And same thing with the band Baron on the other side.
Yeah.
I'd never heard either one of these bands. And it's just one of those things that popped up and it sounded very cool. And I looked at some of their other music and it's, you know, it's right on par. So if you're into that sort of fast blast beats, grindcore, Napalm Death type stuff, the HM2 pedal, you know, that heavy metal pedal, that sound, you'll definitely appreciate this.
Hell yeah, that heavy metal pedal, good.
You know that sound, Entombed.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Entombed. And I gotta say to you, before we get out of here, congratulations to you. I saw you drop some designs for some big players out there.
Yeah.
Which was the one that I saw recently? There was a System of a Down. There was somebody and somebody else or something.
Yeah, thanks. No, System of a Down. I actually did those a year or two ago. I'm just trying to get more on top of putting my stuff out there, you know, and that's a big problem that I have. But I'm always working. I'm always working on these projects. Olivia Newton-John, I just did.
That's the one. That's the one. Because I love her. She's I love Olivia. And when you did that, I was like, that bastard. You got to like look at her and like redraw her and touch her pictures. Shout out to Olivia Newton-John. Let me ask you this. Anything new? Any other projects that any like juicy projects you working on? Yo, your mic's out. Well, while his mic is out, I'm gonna use my mic out. You're cut off, Busky. Listen, shout out to everybody who's been tapping in. We have a lot of news coming. There's a lot of things in the works. Everybody who's been asking when Smoke AD is going to be playing live, your dream's going to come true. A lot of things in the works. 420, we release our new single, Vaya Con Dios. We still don't hear you, Busky, but he's in the building. Hold on, I think I heard you, Busky.
I should be in here now.
Yeah, I'll say you're there.
All right. Something happened. Listen, I got booted.
We got the 420 party. Go check out Ezek and his 420 party in Brooklyn. They're going to be spinning the Smoke AD EP. I've never been prouder of anything I've ever did, and I could honestly and mean that from the bottom of my gut. We got 5 songs recorded by Zeus All Flavor. We're dropping a video, 420, and the whole EP drops in May. And there's going to be a record release probably in June. I'm not going to say when and where, but I could tell you this, everybody. We're pulling that trigger. The people talked and we listened. We will be invading your city and your countries. Once we start, it's on. I'll leave it like that. But we have a lot of things in the work. This ain't no part-time thing. We're just doing things right and, you know, keeping things fresh, energetic, and we're really right now we're probably the most motivated we've ever been on trying to make something new and having fun doing it. So hit that link, everybody. Smoke AD. I've never been proud to go hit that video, add the playlist. It's important. Get those pre-orders. We're about to make a lot of power moves this summer. So rock with us, everybody. Go support Busky. Go get that Olivia Newton-John t-shirt. Tell them Busky sent you. And anything else to look out for, Busky, that you're working on that they should look out for, or just?
No, man. I just want to shout out the Jesse Malin benefit. Definitely help out our man Jesse and get those donations going over there. And we'll see you there. See you then. And we'll check you out later, bro.
Hell yeah, everybody. Peace out. Represent. Peace. We back next week.
Word up. Peace.
Peace.